Good afternoon, everybody. We have this is the multi-category extension tournament where we feature we run the five categories from the Metroid extension board. And my name is Sasrain. I'm joined by Grav in commentary. How are you doing, Grav?
I'm doing really well. I'm really excited to watch this race. I think these are two runners that are pretty close in skill level, so I think it'll be a cool one to see.
Oh, definitely, definitely. The category they're racing today, you see in the center of the screen, is max percent GT code. It's a it's a volatile category that is pretty long, or I should say it's a long category that is volatile in the beginning, and even during late game, there are a bunch of places where you can lose time. And the Tilimorf, ironrusty, both very skilled runners. Yeah, I think they're around the skill level for each other. So hope this is going to be an exciting race.
Yeah, looking at the board, it looks like Tilimorph's PB at the beginning of the tournament was 1 hour 29 minutes and 54 seconds, and Iron Rusty's was 1 hour 33 minutes 45 seconds. And I really think in a category as volatile as this, that is not a lot of difference at all.
Oh, Oh, for sure, for sure. The runners here will be taking safety saves throughout the first half of the run. Not the
Hmm.
first half, but the first part of the run, and yeah, which just indicates that there are so many reset points. In particular, so what's so wild about this category if you're watching this for the first time? So max percent GT code is also known as 135%. Or if you want to be pedantic, you can also call it max percent no out of bounds. It is the um, it is the maximum. We are trying to get the maximum percentage of item collection displayed on the end screen, um, without using any out of bounds tricks. Because if you can use out of bounds, you can actually regenerate some items even after you pick them up to basically basically get your item percentage to somewhere in the 60,000s, which is absurd. So without using any out of bounds trick, we can actually get 135% right now humanly. The task can get 136, but that's a task. So what it involves is that there's a debug code called a GT code in the game that actually sets once you execute it, it sets Samus's item set to a specific combination. In particular, it's 100 missiles, 20 supers, 20 power bombs, all the major upgrades except for screw attack, 7 energy tanks, and 4 reserve tanks. Um, and I think that's 50 something percentage. You can check it in the GT Classic categories if you are so inclined. And afterwards, so the GT code actually sets Samus's item set to that particular combination. It doesn't really give Samus anything extra. So if you enter the GT code with, say, 3 energy tanks, you're going to end up with 7 energy tanks. If you enter the GT code with 0 E tanks, you're also going to get 7 energy tanks. So the idea is to get to the GT room, execute the GT code with the minimum number of upgrades collected. I'll talk about this a little bit later. And after executing the GT code, you grab all the remaining upgrades on the planet to maximize your percentage. And right now, that's 135%.
Hmm. Yeah, I think a really nice way of looking at the category is like some people like to call GT Classic sort of like low percent items, and then after the GT code it becomes like almost a hundo style run. Well, this category basically is just a hundo run right after
Exactly.
the beginning of a low percent run.
That is very well put. That's very well put. Some people say GT Classic is like feels like a boss rush
Yeah.
after executing GT code. This category, while you're still doing a boss rush, but it's most attention will be given to item collection and a lot of these room strategies.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think for a lot of it, especially I would say Meridia, it looks very different from what you would expect from Hundo, just because you don't have to collect those major items. Like we never have to get plasma because we already get it through GT code. So that really changes up how Meridia plays.
Exactly,
And that's true for
exactly.
all of it.
Only Lower Norfair and very, very late game, the late part of Retro Brins are cleaning up, are more or less identical to Hondo. Even Lower Norfair, you have to do this one extra lap round for the GT missiles. But
Mhm.
Brinstar Red Ship and Meridia look very different with how with the items that they have. So both runners with 42 and 43 series, they might not be happy about it, but since their opponents got similar times, I guess they can complain. So we're off to a pretty close start.
Yeah, getting a good Ceres in a race is really hard.
It's impossible. It never happens. I mean, Ceres is where 90% of the resets occur anyways. Both runners using Moonfall. Oh, Tilimorf actually I think, went for the Weave Moonfall, which saves, which lets Samus do the Moonfall instantly without having to align herself to the edge of the platform, saving about 10 frames, I believe. But unfortunately missed it. Giving Iron Rusty a little bit of a early lead. Both are gonna come pick up the Morph Ball and the Alpha missiles. Again, this is for non-out of bounds categories. This is pretty much the standard procedure for the beginning of the game. This is not gonna vary across any of the
Yeah.
categories we see in this race. It's always consistent.
Yeah, but right after bombs, we're going to see the first quite major deviation from, I believe, just about any other category that actually completes the game. The only one I can think of is like out of bounds stuff. Also skips Terminator E-Tank.
Exactly. And the other one I can think of is yeah, Supposable RTA, but
Hmm.
of course that's an RTA and doesn't complete the game.
Yeah, a lot of the RTAs skip Terminator E-Tank. Just because obviously they don't need the E-Tank requirement to actually be able to beat the game.
Exactly. Yeah, right. We usually get 3 tanks to survive the rainbow beam anyway, and if they don't have to do it, they're gonna have to skip it. So both runners in the post missiles to bomb segment. This is actually a very technical part of the early game. Although it's so early, you get reverse pit, climb, and parter, which are really hard to optimize. And even though Rusty had a bit of an early lead, Tilimorf I think just pulling ahead now with slightly better movement. Oh, Rusty got hit by the one of the falling particles. That's not ideal because he needs to farm back up with using these bugs. But these guys actually don't give guaranteed health drop. Well, he got them pretty quickly anyway, so the game took mercy on him.
Yeah, yeah, it's like you either have to farm off of those bugs or hope that BT gives you the drops you want, and never count on BT.
That right. I almost don't even count on BT for giving me the necessary missile drops, even if I'm full on health. Honestly, this is absolutely erratic. So Tilimorf was able to get a clean one round bomb to Rizzo fight by manipulating a good spread of missile drops on screen. The idea is to because you need to use more than 5 missiles on BT, so you want to have the bombs spread out in such a way that you can grab them. You can grab more than 5 and not just all of them at once. And here Tilimorf is coming up to the important deviation. There we go. Taking
Yeah,
it safe.
this is where the most runs die.
Yeah, if you die, so this energy tank, as we said earlier, during the prelude, you want to maximize the number of item pickups possible after the GG code pickup. So that energy tank, it doesn't help you get any farther in the game. It's just an expansion item. So the runners will have to get it. Sorry, the runners will have to skip it. Missiles, super missiles, and power bombs, they actually help you progress in the game, right? Without super missiles or power bombs, you actually can't get any can't explore the games in general, and you can't even make it to the GT code. So these three minor items they will be picking up, but they will only be picking up one expansion pack of each.
Yeah, and also we're starting to already see it with these runners, but you do have to be a lot more cognizant of your health, even in the early game where you're never even thinking about how much health you have, just because of skipping that E-tank.
That's a good point. That's a good point. For the first part of this category, you're going to be exploring Zebes with zero extra E tanks to spare. So that is why we say the early game is so volatile. And let's see what Tilimorf this. Yeah, there we go. So Tilimorf decides to pick up Charge Beam here. Now you might be wondering, well, why don't they defer picking up Charge Beam for late game? Well, the thing is that the way the game calculates your item percentage at the end is that for every major upgrade, it only counts whether you have it or not. If you have it, it gives you 1%. If you don't have it, it doesn't give you any. If you have two, you still only get 1% because you can only equip one Charge Beam. So they actually have the freedom to, and since the GT code gives them these upgrades anyway, they have the freedom to pick them up during early game, any number of major upgrades, as much as they want, to make their early game a little bit more consistent. And both runners here opting to pick up Charge Beam, which is a huge safety item to get for Max GT.
Yeah, I don't think there are many people at all that should be skipping that Charge Beam. It does look like Tilimorf, at least, is not going to be collecting Spazer. That's a fairly popular safety to get, and ironrusty does want to get it. So here's the first major deviation.
Right, Spazer pickup. This is just a number I heard from someone else, but it costs give or take 30 seconds. Actually, I don't think it's that much, but somewhere around in that range. So this will give Terramorph actually a pretty sizable lead, but really, Iron Rusty, if he wants to win this race, he really wants to survive. So if this Spazer beam helps him survive, then by all means he'll be getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Both runners entering Crazy Day here. They won't be able to do the blockbuster entrance as down in say KPGR just because they don't have the extra missile expansion. So they actually don't have enough ammo if they use all three supers here to kill the Green Pirates. Great quick kill kind of for Tilimorf. Very nice. That's potential. That was a potential place for Rusty to make up major amounts of time if Tilimorf somehow missed the great quick kill. It's not a very difficult strategy, but it's pretty. It can be tricky during races.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here's one of the nice spots for Rusty here, where it's really good to know that charge create quick kill. I believe he actually mains the charge create quick kill.
I see. Let's check it out. Oh, I think the one super. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah, this is really bad too.
Well, thankfully he does have Spazer, so one shot will kill Great. Yeah, one shot will kill
nice.
Great. Very nice. I think Great has 1,000 health, if I'm not mistaken, and without Spazer, the charge shot only does 60 damage, I think. So one charge shot wouldn't have killed Great there, but I think picking up space actually helped him out here.
Yeah, how
So
much?
the runners are picking. Oh, sorry.
How much does Spazer do then for charge shots?
I have no idea actually. I have no idea, but seems like it's more than 100.
Yeah. Okay, 120 for charge shots.
There we go.
Hmm.
That was a very wise pickup for Rusty.
Yeah, and it looks like did Iron Rusty skip the drops or oh no, he got health bombed. That's right.
Oh,
So yeah,
well,
that's really
that is
unfortunate.
indeed unfortunate, but having Spacer actually makes that getting through that hallway without missiles a little bit comfier as well.
Yeah.
So it's actually, yeah, so Spacer picking up actually working out really nicely for Rusty. And I mean, neglected to mention, but Tilimorf actually picked up high jump boots. High jump boots is also a safety item you can get. Um, doesn't really it doesn't really make Samus go like progress any farther in the game, but there are 3 rooms that change a lot if you don't have high jump boots. One is the pre-cathedral, where you have to do double bomb jumps, and the second is this bubble mountain, where if you don't have high jump boots, this wall jump right here actually becomes very tight. Teamwork nails the first try, very nice.
Yeah, and Rusty took a save there. It may seem kind of silly, but that E-tank is really easy to accidentally grab.
Oh, for sure, especially if you're just a tad bit absent-minded about it. It's just second nature. There's more that's no category. Well, except for maybe maybe the GT classic categories that actually skip that energy tank. So, and to backtrack a little bit, the whole purpose of the runners coming down here to Upper Norfair is to get this speed booster. So Max GT, the the goal I said was to get to the GT room with the minimum number of minor upgrades. Now, to get to the GT room, there's the Gravitron room that is filled with lava that is actually very hard to traverse if you don't have any E-tank expansions at all, which the runners are not allowed to get. So one common way to bypass it is by using gravity jump, which is a technique that you can use if you have gravity suit. So runners will want to go pick up a gravity suit, but before gravity suit, before wreck ship actually, there is this one room called the moat, where there's a missile that is conveniently placed in the middle of the room. That's very difficult to avoid. With the item sets they have. So they want to pick up Speed Booster to Shine Spark over it. And to get to Speed Booster, they picked up Varia Suit to survive the initial Hell Run.
Yeah. Now, this category having as many routes as it does, there is actually a way to get into Wreck Ship and without collecting that missile and without collecting speed. Do you want to go over it as the only person I've ever seen do it?
Yeah, sure. I can talk a little bit about it. But it's just one last thing I want to say is that this red tower climb, if you don't have high jump boots, you have to do a very tricky series of bomb jumps or a very short shine charge, which is why most runners, which is probably the key reason why most runners decide to pick up high jump boots. So the route Glove was referring to, there's that missile pack. You can either shine spark over it, or you can use grapple beam to get over it, or you can actually do a series of infinite horizontal bomb jumps. By which I mean you maintain your height mid-air doing a bomb jump while moving horizontally sideways, which is a pretty difficult which is actually a quite challenging exploit. It's not any kind of glitch. It's just a mechanic built into the game. And right, as far as I know, I'm the only runner to have incorporated it. But unfortunately, that route got outdated by by the coming of the zero tank dive route. So we actually don't see it much anymore nowadays.
Alright, Iron Rusty, or excuse me, Tilimorph's health is looking a little bit low here. And there's not a great place to farm. He'll get one big health off of one of these Cax. But
Yeah, he'll have to, right, he'll be taking this safety save, which is more or less a required safety save. I just don't, I don't imagine anyone running this category in a race and not taking a save here.
yeah.
But after a save, I think he's gonna farm. Oh, okay, actually not foregoing farming the second CAC. Interesting.
Yeah. Now, you may be asking, well, why didn't Tilimorph just farm those caterpillars on his way? And unfortunately, those caterpillars will prefer power bombs, and if you're full on power bombs, they will drop small health, so only 5 health per caterpillar.
Right. And you might also be thinking, well, 87 health. Wow, that's low. That actually seems. I mean, if you have various here, that seems like a reasonable number to have. Well, here, there's a required shine spark they have to do over the mode, which actually puts their health to. If you're full on health, that actually puts you around near 50. And now Tilimorf only has, well, oh my god, 29. Yeah, so they really wanted to have as much health as possible exiting Red Tower, which Rusty is doing a better job at. Really.
Yeah, again, that Spazer is helping him out a lot. He can take care of those Cax a lot quicker.
Oh, for sure. Does not have to rely on charged beam shot. And now Tilimorf taking 2 nice bats in the ocean. This is very common actually. Without usually runners are more. Oh my god, a third one now. Usually runners are more acquainted with jumping across the ocean without high jump boost and speed booster. But with the aid of these 2 items, with the aid, I say, Samus actually gains a little bit too much momentum, a little too much, so much so that it's actually a little bit hard to control. It's really easy to bonk on those gravel blocks.
Yeah, so those ocean frustrations give Rusty a chance to make up a bit of ground here.
Exactly.
All right,
Oh,
very
it's
nice
Rusty's
farm.
turn. Yeah, it's Rusty's turn, but unfortunately a fourth dip in the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
Oh. Like a pixel too low.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and another.
One of the
Right,
common
so,
things you'll see runners do
yeah.
here is just turn off high jump boots, which makes it a lot easier.
That was what I was gonna say. French Lightning John, one of the runners back in the days, when he was running this category, he always decided to turn off high jump boots and speed booster for crossing the ocean. And now is a big moment. Now this is a key moment for Tilimorf. This Phantom fight is it's just really dangerous. It's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, so the runners will be relying on doppler strategies to kill Phantom, but unlike any person, they only have 1 missile expansion, so they only have 5 missiles at disposal at any one moment of time, which actually makes it very difficult to doppler Phantom efficiently. The idea is to get missile drops that are loitering on screen and pick them up while doppling Phantom. But again, that's a very difficult maneuver. Oh, the super did not finish off Phantom, but yeah, this is why Charge Beam is so helpful. If you decide to rely on this Nintendo Power strategy of super in Phantom and just surviving the enrage, you really want to have Charge Beam to make this pseudo because you can actually pseudo screw all the frames.
Oh no!
Okay, he survives.
3 missiles, okay. He will be health bombed here, but with only having 5 missiles, 5 supers, and 5 power bombs, that's maybe not as big of a deal.
Yeah,
although
yeah,
will
true.
make Attic not great.
Exactly. Unlike any percent, where runners go pick up the left side supers here, the runners will have to skip it. So with 2 and 1 and 2, um, yeah, his items will have to will have to suffer a little bit, unless he's going for the Shine Spark addict. In which case, I think you actually use no ammo at all, or maybe just one missile.
Yeah,
Not
that is
thinking
a pretty
this.
risky strat, though.
Yeah, for sure. You actually really want to conserve as much health as possible here. For some. Okay, so he is going laying the power bomb. So I presume he's going for the Shine Spark. Okay, I think he's just taking it. Yeah, taking it safe. Nice. This is a good call. Meanwhile,
Yeah,
Rusty finishing off Fan 2, no problem. May have caught up a little bit of time there. I actually missed whether he got an enrage or not, but the enrage, give or take, is 17 seconds. So good
yeah, I don't
chance
think
he caught
Rusty
up some.
got one.
Nice. That's good to
So
hear.
yeah, he's made up a fair bit of time.
Yeah, only 2 rooms across from Tilimorf now. Also this next room coming up for Tilimorf is also a very challenging a non-trivial room with only well, this actually applies to any person as well. But you want to cross this next room. It's called bowling, and this is actually a key reason why Various suit is picked up. This is, or I should say, another reason Various suit is picked up is that if you don't have Various suit,
Ooh,
oh, he took the second hit. Oh my god, he
yeah,
survives. So if you don't have Various suit, these spikes will do 60 damage. Normally that's not an issue any person where you have 1 extra E tank worth of health. But if they only have 99 maximum, they actually can't afford to take 260 hits. So Various suit actually halving the damage here makes crossing bowling a lot comfier.
yeah. Now Tilimorf does still need to be a little bit careful. If he accidentally falls into ocean and gets hit by a fish, that's it. Or really just about anything in this area. Like I think
Yeah,
the Thunder afterwards would kill him too.
and of course the crabs
Oh.
in pre mode also also yeah mortal damage. And I have seen Max GT runs that died to the crab. Also, he needs to skip this missile pack on the way back, so watch out. Okay, taking it safe, taking it safe.
All right.
Sometimes if you try to jump over that missile and you bonk the ceiling,
Oh.
and there's a decent chance you'll just pick up that missile pack and have to go back to pre Phantom again.
Yeah, and Rusty's in the same situation now, 9 health.
Yeah, it's not ideal for either runners. You have to be a little bit more careful as well, but does have the ammo advantage as on it actually, a major ammo advantage. So Tilimorf farming these Cat-Ext will not give him super missiles because he was in health bomb range, which was probably a better call. Because honestly, at that point you might have wanted health drops more than super missile drops. But Tilimorf will have to fill up on his super counts for a very silly trick later on called the GGG. And Rusty may not have to farm up any supers at all because actually he has 5 leaving wreck ship.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, Rusty. You
Really
had me on
making
the
a
edge of
sweat.
my yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. I actually think if you are if Samus is running at full speed, if you just hold F running off that ledge, I think Samus can actually grab that missile back. I've heard it from some source that I can't recall, but that was a little scary. And Tilimorf blowing up this Meridia tube here. This actually has 2 purposes. One, he's traversing, he's entering the room from the left-hand side, and the hitbox or the trigger to explode that tube is actually located on the left. So placing a power bomb on the left-hand side it actually blows up the tube a little faster, a little quicker. And the second reason is that if the tube is broken, when he later wants to enter Meridia, he can do a faster Meridia entrance strategy because Samus has speed. Taking the safety save here in Business Center. Yeah, presumably this is for the lava dive coming up later. And without and since Tilimorf didn't have as much supers, he needed to farm up some supers there. But the well was actually located in a very convenient place, so that farming doesn't take that much time. But it is some seconds that Tilimorf needed to suffer over Rusty.
Yeah, he got pretty lucky with his farm too.
Exactly. He got full on supers after the first farm, which is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was like 3 supers off of 1 farm. Oh no!
Don't.
Okay, this is.
I think this is
This is enough?
survivable.
Okay,
Yeah.
no sweat. Although that would not have been survivable if you decided to skip high jump boots, because if you don't have high jump boots, the lava dive, you actually won't make it all the way to the top. So you have to wall jump under Namihe, which actually costs around 50 health because you are in the lava for a longer period of time, and Tilimorf only has 49. And he really, yeah, he wants to take this save. He wants to take this save after a lava dive or after a gravity jump because of this absolutely weird trick coming up.
Yeah. So Tilimorf is going to be attempting something called Green Gate Glitch. And what this is on left-facing doors, you can get a super missile to explode out just far enough so that it hits that button on the left side, just like that. Nicely done.
Nicely done, 4th try. Yeah, that trick is the way Tilimorf did it. I think that's frame perfect the way he did it. He did have 4 tries at it, so it might not have been so scary. But again, the visual cues you have for GGG is just so weird. So good thing he got it without having to reset.
And he remembers to turn off Spazer. That's always it really makes you feel stupid if you forget to turn off that Spazer. Because then you just fire a shot and crash the game.
Exactly. So you might have noticed that now Tilimorf, suddenly the Samus is fully powered up. Now that is a consequence of entering the GT code. The way you execute it is actually very easy. If you're entering this GT room from either side while GT is still alive, all you have to do is to hold all 4 face buttons during the door transition, and that actually gives you the GT, well, the set of item combinations that I described in the beginning. And as Grav was saying, the GT code actually equips Spazer and Plasma Beam together for whatever reason. And these two beams, if you equip them together and fire it, it actually becomes a glitched beam shot that instantly crashes the game. Good job for Tilimorf for completing the first part, or part 1 of Max GT. Now he's entering part 2, which is where the fun begins.
Yep, and also good job on remembering one of the hardest items to remember.
Oh yeah.
Because oh no.
Wait. What? Did Rusty miss the GT input? Actually didn't catch it. It looked like he had a gravity suit on, so I thought he. Oh, okay. He had gravity suit on even before entering GT code.
Yeah, maybe he just started a bit late or something.
It is possible. So the GT code, you might just be thinking that, well, you have to hold all 4 buttons. Or he might have cut too short on his GT code input, because you actually don't want to be holding all 4 face buttons even into this transition, because if Samus lands or something, since you're holding the shot button, if you enter a GT code room, Samus actually fires the glitch beam automatically and will crash the game. So he does want to enter it at some point and release it before the transition completes. Guess the GGG, no problem. Let's just see it. See.
Yeah,
He's
it's
holding the buttons. There we go.
Very nice. Yeah.
Very
It's
nice.
an unfortunate mistake to make, but like there's still a lot of run left.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is where, so the early game with uh with Samus traversing Zebes and fighting Phantom, getting gravity with zero tanks. That's a very volatile segment that, of course, has will see a lot of time variance just because it's so unpredictable and dangerous. This late game has just as much variance because now there are so many room strategies the runners can go for because they have all the items they want, all the items they can ask for. Um, so there's of course major time to be gained and lost late game because there are actually a ton of speedrun strategies, tricks for every single room. In particular, Tilimorf in this room, he wants to. Okay, actually going off of the beaten path to kill that Kite Hunter. Uh, this is a cute little optimization called lag reduction, where in rooms where you lay power bomb or just about doing anything else, you want to kill any enemies that are moving off screen to reduce the lag from power bombs. And the runners will be going for these micro time saves in this late game because there's actually no risk of dying anymore. Now they aren't concerned about their survival; they're just concerned about optimizing the run. So it will be this late game is actually very, very cool to see.
Yeah, it looked like maybe Rusty there was going for a trick
Blue.
called Blue Fireball. I think he was just a little bit too high on his jumps though.
Yeah, yeah. I caught that as well. That's a very cool trick. Hopefully doesn't get it. And Tilimorf going for Shine Spark kill on the first pirate. That's an interesting option. Let's see if you
Yeah.
get this. Let's see if you get this powerhouse space jump, which is, oh, he got the space jump, but not the door open.
Yeah. Can you do Plower House without charging the shot?
Yes, you can open the door, the left door, with a regular shot as well. It's possible.
It's just a bit harder.
I actually main the non-charge shot version, so I can't really speak to the relative difficulties, but I do know it is possible.
Interesting.
So Tilimorf now in the Ridley fight, to see if he chooses to use any supers on Ridley, because that's actually higher DPS than using charge shots alone.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like he's using any, but I think Ridley should be dead. Very nice.
Yeah, supers make the fight go faster, but they also force you to do math, and math is hard.
Oh, okay. That's actually right. That makes sense. That makes sense. So Rusty, upon exiting this Mickey Mouse missile, he needs to be a little careful. Yeah, that set of crumble blocks. If you fall down, probably a good 40 or 50 seconds lost. This day game actually has a ton of these hidden traps that are meant to catch first-time Let's Players, and it's actually even speedrunners actually fall to them from time to time, and it's when it happens, it just feels so. It just feels absolutely terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the fire fleas is another one of those where you get stuck at the bottom of a pit, and you've killed all of your light sources.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. It's always fun when that happens. Suddenly becoming a blindfolded run, and the runners doing a little bit of doing a high five here in the wasteland door. Tilimorf will be heading out of Lower Norfair while Rusty heading to Ridley now. And this is the fire free room Gravis was referring to. Let's see if Tilimorf goes for a cool strategy. Oh, close. He wanted to freeze that fire free in place so that he could get a return D boost onto it and not have to fall on the spike floor. Again, it's just a micro time save. Maybe we're probably not even talking about half a second, but just during the late game, the runners will be going for all sorts of optimizations, and it's always really, really neat to see. Let's see, not going for not going for the powerhouse strategy. Doesn't actually lose him any time in this case since Tilimorf didn't get it. And let's check out his Ridley fight. Does he use any supers? So regarding super usage on Ridley, the runners, to speak a little bit about this, the route in Meridia, the runners actually will have to. See, there we go. Rusty actually using supers on Ridley. This will save him a few seconds actually. You can fire 3 supers in 1 second, and 3 supers actually deal the damage of the same amount of damage as 2 charge shots, which takes 2 seconds to fire. So actually it saves him a good amount of time using supers. But the runners do want to conserve a little bit, some amount of supers for Meridia, because they actually will be doing 2 more green gate glitches. And green gate glitches, if you get stuck once, you get stuck forever.
Yeah, definitely. They will be able to get they will be getting a total of 8 super drops from mini Kraid when they go through Kraid, just to get the E-Tank and Kraid missile. Or wait, no, I'm silly. Yeah. Never mind. Thinking of a different route. Yeah, you don't get mini Kraid.
yeah, mini Kraid. Yeah, just showing up to the mini Kraid. But that's such a good point, because when you're going to Kraid's layer, they do need at least 1 super to enter and at least 1 super to exit. And ideally they won't be going to the Kraid hallway where mini Kraid gives guaranteed super drops. So right, they do want to reserve at least 2. I mean, 2 is a really low number, honestly, if you're heading to Meridia afterwards. But at least 2. Oh, Rusty with the, I think, pixel or sub-pixel, either pixel or sub-pixel perfect. Springboard jump out of the tunnel. That was sick. So actually,
yeah, a lot of people call that foosball.
Foosball, exactly. Yeah, named after Foosta. So I shouldn't talk about this Shine Spark that Tilimorf first. Oh, what?
Oh.
He did a diagonal. I mean,
maybe he was like trying to angle down and just hit the wrong angle button. So that he could jump up.
That's an educated inference. Really. that's actually a possibility. Okay, well then now Rusty really needs to get it, because that's actually a really cool Shine Spark that saves him a ton of time actually. So you see Tilimorf actually decided to, and he followed up with this Shine Spark to, okay, so maybe he was even like opting to not go for the Shine Spark in Speed Booster hallway, and instead going for this Shine Spark across Bubble Mountain, which is usually seen only in Nintendo Power Percent. Yeah, we'll talk about the Shine Spark again after Rusty gets to Speed Hallway.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it saves you two door transitions.
Right,
basically.
Exactly. That was what I was going to mention. At least 2 transitions, as opposed to Tilimorf's case, and they also yeah, right. At least 2 door transitions. Now Tilimorf heading into Bubble Mountain to get this missile pack to the right of Bubble Mountain, to the bottom right of Bubble Mountain. This is always a very awkward missile to get, because the geography of Bubble Mountain is just so, it's I don't know, it's not exactly smooth. Like you see these slope tiles, like these look like slope tiles, but these are actually like solid blocks that are somewhat like Minecrafty, and Samus just gets loses her momentum every time I try to get through that place in some improvised manner. So this is a first deviation from Hundo in this category. So Lower North Area Bubble Mountain up to Bubble Mountain, more or less identical to any 100% runs, but here the runners will actually be going through Cathedral to get the Cathedral missiles, and then they will actually make a round trip to. They'll head into Business Center next, and they will make a round trip to Crocomire and then exit Business Center in the end. So this is a very well routed section of the game where the runners are gonna collect these remaining upper Norfair items.
Yeah, it's just a little bit frustrating to me, that croc escape item, because you would have like such a clean path through Norfair if it weren't
Yeah.
for that
Oh,
one
that's
missile.
yes. I completely echo you. That one missile pack being located placed at the just at the very end of the Croc escape kind of forces going to Croc last. Um, and I know that's I know it is a bummer. Now let's check out this Shine Spark. Oh no,
Oh
Rusty.
no!
So no FBS Spark today. Rusty was actually going for a hardcore strat where you don't use angle down to jump up, but instead do a spin jump into that one tile gap. That's that's a baller strategy. Never seen anyone go for it. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him, but at least he isn't losing any time over Tilimorf during this race.
Yeah, but yeah, the basic idea from that spark is the crumble blocks in that room don't respawn over time. So by sparking, you're able to get back through the room without having to go into speed booster just to reload those blocks.
Yes, and it's a shine spark that is only seen in Max GT, so it's almost like a quintessential trick of this category. One of the earliest unique strategies. I remember the world record, the first world record holder FBS, when he got the run, he actually said, "This shine spark is the reason I wanted to do this category." So the runners are now in the Croc area. With the item set they have, this will be very similar to early Ice Hundo route. But with the cache set, they actually don't have to go pick up a grapple beam because, as we mentioned earlier, in the beginning, major upgrades are granted to Samus by the GT code, and you don't need more than one major upgrade to count toward the end percentage. So they will be they will be skipping all the major upgrades in the late game. These include detour items, just absolutely detour items like Spring Ball, X-Ray, Grapple Beam, Wave Beam that are like not even that interesting to pick up. They're just slow, which is one nice thing about this category.
Yeah, definitely. You spend, in the case of the runs in this race, half an hour just doing some really strange stuff, and your reward is you don't have to pick up Spring Ball or any of those kinds of items.
Exactly. It was all in preparation. Was all in preparation for this. Let's see if Rusty
Yeah, I
gets
love
this
that
cool.
spark.
Yeah, that was a cool spark.
Yeah, I guess you can't. I actually don't know where you use the Croc spike suit if you are able to get it somehow. I guess there are a couple different places.
Right, so for this category, even when Zost got his world record in this, he I just want to say Terramorph went for the hardcore space jump strategy through the bottom opening. Unfortunately, touches the lava, and touch the lava, even if you have gravity suit, just removes all your momentum. So that was a little unfortunate. But I remember when Zost got his world record, he got spike suit from the Croc spikes, but he didn't have a good idea of where to use it, so he just wasted it, just intentionally wasted it, because it actually hinders his movement. Now, I know of at least one, and precisely one application of the spike suit in a highly exotic Meridia routing. If you do bottoon skip, you actually, which is a very difficult maneuver in itself, um, applicable in this category, you can actually use the spike suit to shine spark across Colosseum, do like a full halfy style of shine spark. But that's not really a thing yet.
Does Botswound skip actually save time?
Yes, it saves roughly 20 seconds,
Wow.
or 20 or 20 to 30 seconds in the zero tank dive route actually, because in this route they are doing actually right. This is another thing to look out for. In Meridia, there's a kind of health management they can do, so that they can set up for the wreck ship body skip, where they do a grapple clip into the into wreck ship and do like crystal flash followed by X-rays to get gravity suit without having to sit through the statue cutscene. In this route, that trick is possible, so runners will be doing some kind of health management. In the regular route, that trick is not possible because wreck ship is not lighted up. So you can actually forego some of the health management strategies in Meridia, and as a result, you can actually do the bottom skip. But that's a very technical it's a very technical digression.
Yeah.
So now Tilimorf entering Meridia. One of the first deviations you're gonna see is that they are actually not going to pick up mainstream. Okay, so or Tilimorf is gonna pick up this mainstream missiles now. Unfortunately, bonks the Shine Spark. This I wonder if he knows about the optimal route here. So this missile, you actually want to save it for later when you finish up all of Meridia, because after then you'll be heading to Red Tower next. So it's actually fastest to pick up that missile last among all the Meridia items. I guess Tim will just picking it up now from say Hundo muscle memory.
Yeah, I definitely found it really hard to skip mainstream missile the first time I was running this. It's like that just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I know. It feels very off. Although saving it for later actually allows you to do to not have to go for the short charge, because you'll be coming to Main Street from the red door to the right. So you have a lot of you have way more room to charge a Shine Spark. But again, this really comes down to runner's preference. Super Metroid, every single room of Super Metroid, or more or less every single room of Super Metroid, except for like elevator rooms, have at least say two or three strategies to it, and the runners will be choosing whatever they want, whatever suit their taste, so to speak. So it's really interesting to see the strat deviations across all the runners. So Tilimorf Shine Spark up Mount Everest. He'll be going to the beach area, and with the item set he has, this area, in particular in the next room, there's a really cool springboard strategy. I wonder if he's aware of it, or he's going to go for it.
Yeah, there are so many strats for this category, and especially since this is a tournament that has 5 different categories in it, it's hard to be aware of every single strat.
Oh, I definitely agree. I for the longest time didn't have any strategies from Nintendo Power percent, but still just ran it on the fly, following the Nintendo Power guide.
Did you use 5 supers on Fantoon?
Okay, that actually wasn't in the guide, thankfully. Otherwise, I would have been fooled. Rusty freezing the frog in place, the beatom in place. So the beam they have is actually very powerful. Charge wave, plasma, and ice. But having ice actually, first of all, it generates some lag in certain rooms where we fire it, as well as it just freezes some enemies and makes traversing rooms more difficult. I remember any percent runs from like 10, 12 years ago actually unequipped eyes for some parts of the game, just so that they can kill enemies in one shot and don't have to like double shoot them, since they actually get frozen like whatever you do. So having ice actually makes some rooms tricky. It is a primary reason why I turn off ice during my runs with this category. And Tilimorf deciding to pick up aqueduct items now. This is... Oh. I think I've seen this route before. Maybe during one of Tilimorph's raids um, with bans or something. Or maybe I'm just mixing up the names. But right, I've seen this routing here where runners come finish up sandpit items first before doing Batu Dragon, which I find very counterintuitive.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the advantage to routing it like this would be.
Let's see. I'm thinking to myself, but perhaps it's more so than having advantage. It probably just means that it doesn't really have a disadvantage because the runners will be making the Meridian lap with the by which I mean you go to the sandpit and you go to Main Street and like you just like loop around Mount Everest. So probably picking these sandpit items first just doesn't have any disadvantage because like in terms of routing. Unlike in Hundo, you actually have to get to the plasma area, so you really want to finish up you really want to do the sandpit items post Dragon. Tilimorph getting that Green Gate glitch first try, that's always a good feeling. That Green Gate glitch, if you don't get it first try, or I should say, if you get first try, you save about 7 seconds over doing the easy plasma lap, where you use the toilet, get up to plasma area and come down from pre-bottom, or post-bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Iron Rusty just had a really nice recovery there. So one of the interesting things with screw attack is when you're wall jumping while you're still like pulling away from the wall, screw attack isn't active. So he saw that he would have gotten hit by the crab, instead did like an Alcatraz maneuver, unmorphed, and froze that crab to land on top of it, so he wouldn't fall all the way down.
That is some intricacy right there.
Yeah.
Showing off his
Mhm.
showing off that he knows the game well.
Yeah,
His
and
mechanics.
something that we haven't talked about yet. So what we just saw from Tilly might seem a little bit strange. Tilly does actually have both of our runners actually have grapple and X-ray. GT code just doesn't show them. So Tilly did a pretty standard trick, especially in randomizer. You see it a lot. That's called microwave, where if you can use X-ray to basically reset iframes from your charged plasma shots to deal a bunch of damage. I don't think that's exactly how it works, but
Well, I think that's good enough for
yeah.
for the purpose of this category. And yeah, thank you for bringing that to your attention because microwaving, I've seen it so many times and it's almost second nature by this point, and that I don't even raise any questions about it when I see it. But again, right, if you're seeing this for the first time, it's as well as the missing grapple and X-ray icon.
Yeah.
That's so I just nothing to me seems wrong about it at this point. Somehow. But yeah, thank you for bringing that up to the viewers' attention.
Yep, and we're about to see another microwave right here. This is, I think, like undoubtedly the best microwave in the game in terms of time save.
Definitely. Or maybe I think the yeah. This has to be the best one. Dragon shows up and she's down.
Yep, and we don't even have to pick up space jump.
Oh yeah, we just enter the room and exit the room like ASAP. It is possible to, in the new route of this, or in the world record route of XGT, since you actually delay fighting Phantoon, you can also use a microwaving on Phantoon, but
Ooh, nice womp.
How many runners are? Oh yeah, nice womple. And let's see if Rusty gets one of the hat. Oh. He definitely Happy was definitely within reach, but honestly, if you're gonna go for Happy, you might as well just space jump across Colosseum.
Yeah, space jump's just a good item.
Yes, it's one of the major benefits of doing these of this late game cleanup the Max GT has over Hondo is just the presence of these major upgrades, and Space Jump is a crucial one. It makes traversing through many rooms much easier and faster. So although it looks like Tilimorf is only about a fight ahead of Rusty, Tilimorf actually has one of the two sandpits already completed. So he will be. Oh wait, this is the first sandpit. Or is this second? I have no idea.
Yeah, Tilimorf did left sandpit, and now.
I see.
Yeah, Tilly did left sandpit before the fight. Now he's doing right.
I see. Yeah, so Tilimorf actually does have more than just a drain of points of advantage. He has a sandpit's worth of advantage as well. So he's actually a little bit more ahead than it seems on the screen. But of course, he needs to get this one last GGG of the run. He hasn't. He has been. GG hasn't really been giving him a hard time yet. But let's see what happens here. This green gate glitch, if you get it first try, saves 10 seconds over exiting Meridia and re-entering Meridia.
Yeah, I find it interesting that Tilimorf crouches to get the green gate glitch.
Right, it's not something setup I'm too used to seeing.
Oh no, Rusty!
Wait, Rusty! No. Okay, so I hope Rusty realizes that he needs to not do this GGG now. He needs to do the plasma route instead, because that would actually put him back to pre-bottom. Please, Rusty. And honestly, the plasma route is actually pretty fast as well. Honestly. So here is another very unique routing of this category. Tilimorf, after collecting all the Meridia upgrades, is going to exit from the top of Meridia, like say any percent over GT Classic, any percent new route over GT Classic, because the next destination he'll be heading to is Rex Ship.
First, he just has to do a little bit of Red Tower cleanup.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
which is very comfy with the items he has.
Yeah, and then Rex Ship is an area that I feel like it feels kind of awkward no matter how you route it, I think.
Yeah, it's like this constrained area. Okay, nice. Rusty is aware that he needs to go up this way. So that is a nice recovery. Right. So Red Ship is like this constrained area that is like some like like the artifact of space pirates. So it has like all these artificial geographies, and it's really hard to maneuver across it because it's just you're bonking everywhere. You're like failing all the edge grabs, and there are all the spikes and the conveyor platforms that are moving around, and as well as the work robots. So it's just no matter what category or any of the completion categories, Rex Ships is always a pain.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like Rex Ship in North Korea. That's pretty good. You just get Fantoon and leave.
Well, you do have to.
Yeah, you do have to get gravity. In RBO, you don't.
But then that's.
Yeah.
Right, you don't have to go out of your way for the other stuff.
Oh, that was a really nice KO by Rusty there.
Yeah. Going through the two-dimensional enemy that I can't recall the name of. And Tilimorf now able to pick up that the dreaded Molt missile is actually a required pickup now. This is also very interesting. The next room coming up, Tilimorf, that Tilimorf is entering. This room, usually runners visit here when the ship. Well, usually runners visit this room in the completion categories when the ship is not active yet. But when the ship is active, you can see that the platform is actually a conveyor platform, and the spikes actually do fall down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thankfully with the items that our runners have, it's not that bad of a room.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's that room is no problem for the runners.
Yeah. But like, if you forget to do spooky before Fantoon and something like Hundo, I think spooky missile can be even scarier than spiky room of death.
Oh sure,
And
just
yeah,
yeah, just because you don't have a strategy for it. Yeah, it's
yeah,
you're just going into the blind. And of course, in Hundo, you want to conserve your health, so like your health is pretty low by that point. So yeah, that would be a pretty tragic mess up. Rusty actually takes this lower route, exiting Meridia and then re-entering it. In this case, he will be saving time over Tilimorf because Tilimorf got like a 7th or 8th try GGG. And that GGG, if you get a first try, only saves 10 seconds. Um, so I'm pretty confident. And Rusty, and see, now Rusty actually does leave this mainstream missiles last. And this actually works out really well for him because he's heading to, yeah, as we said, he's heading out of the top exit of, oh,
oh,
unfortunate bonk. Yeah, this shine spark conveniently brings him to the top of, upwards.
oh
Oh, and
no,
another.
yeah,
Okay, this is, mm,
yeah.
this is unfortunate.
In my opinion, this is like the hardest item in the game to use intended strats for.
Oh, I believe you. I definitely believe you. Also, Rusty needs to not. Yeah, he's been landing on that platform. When all he wanted to do was do align Samus next to the side of it. If you align the Samus next to the platform, it all places her perfectly. But if you land on it, it means you're a few pixels off.
Yeah. And on Tilimorph's screen there, we just saw something kind of interesting. Because those falling spike platforms, the Kazans, are like uh, kind of enemies. Screw Attack can kind of just go through them, coming
Oh, I
from
see.
below.
So that is why. I never thought about it. I just thought screw attack is just too OP, but yeah, in retrospect, yeah, it only protects you from enemies, not the, yeah, not the spikes. Interesting. Oh, and Silver got the frame perfect on morph. If you, or so I think, if you unmorph frame perfectly onto his conveyor belts, it actually doesn't push Samus backwards at all. So you could set the Samus was when he was firing the missile, Samus was actually stationary.
Yeah.
That's cool. And yeah, and of course, even though the runners have cleared Attic for the first time when they were heading to Gravity Suit, in order to get the right side missiles, they still needed to kill enemies again. But with the item sets they have, and in particular Space Jump and Screw Attack, Attic is second visit Attic is no problem.
Yeah. I
And with
mean,
the aid of Space Jump, the Sky Missiles is also no problem.
oh no.
Rusty. Well, at least this ball isn't making his game crash, so it won't be
Oh.
as tragic as last time. But yeah, now Telemorph will be heading to, yeah, heading. One unfortunate thing about this category, which you can actually circumvent, is that you have to sit through this bowling cutscene twice, and that doesn't feel good in any way. It's like 35 seconds that you're just waiting there. Although there are ways to um, skip having to watch this cutscene again. It's called a bowling skip, where you do, which was first discovered by Saturn way back when. Wait, Rusty? Did he did he forget he needed the? Yeah, forgot. Oh, oh, spooky missiles. Oh, even in this category, it just takes tolls on the runners. That that is that is unfortunate to say the least. Because yeah, he needs to go through attic again. Well, it's not too big of a detour, but again, this is some major time loss, and consider that he's behind. Wait,
Yeah.
oh, excuse me, he's entering.
Yeah. This is He just got to wreck ship.
Oh, sorry. I'm just okay. I was crazy for a second there. Yeah, the two runners were in the same room, so I just assumed they were both in both in West Ocean, so I just assumed they were in the same parts of the game. Um, yeah, right. So Rusty still needs to finish up wreck ship. And Tilimorf will be heading to, will be grabbing this ocean missile. Let's see if he does. Okay, just goes for the safe strategy.
The mock ball into ocean missile is really hard.
Yeah, the mock ball into ocean missile is more or less impossible. Of course, it is not, but it is more or less impossible. But with the aid of spring ball, there's actually an easier way to hit that to keep all your momentum into a tunnel. But again, as Grub mentioned, we have the runners in this tourney have 5 categories to prepare for, and all 5 of them are quite different from each other. Honestly, there's the RBO like DPRK, there's a Hundo like Max GT, there's there are also 69, there's 80%, and there's also just the absolutely tragic Nintendo Power %. And it's impossible for us to just cram in all the strategies for every single category. So yeah, we won't be surprised. It's not surprising to see that some strategies have not been exactly incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah,
is the yeah.
I think due to this length and unorthodox item set, Max GT just has to have the most unique strategies of any category in this tournament.
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, just based on the inferring from the length of it, I can see that.
I mean, I guess it depends on how familiar you are with Suitless Meridia or North Korea.
Right, yeah. In that case, in that case, DPRK might be. Right, DPRK and Max GT definitely two wild cards in this category. And Tilimorf needs to be careful here. He does have Spring Ball. Oh, unfortunate. So Tilimorf did not get the correct placement there. He will have to make a second lap around second lap for Gauntlet missiles. This is roughly a 55-second time loss.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
what's so? Oh, he's saving it for the end, I guess.
Yeah. Yes. That's the faster way of recovering from that kind of mistake. You
Makes
actually
sense.
because you actually come out of parter after 230 missiles, and you can head directly to the ending site. But Tilimorf actually he does have Spring Ball to his advantage, because Spring Ball, when you use it, when you just hold jump on a set of crumble blocks, Samus will never just fall through them. So he actually had plenty of opportunities to line himself up there. But I guess just not overly familiar with the item sets he has. And this is consistent across all categories, all GT categories really. I see GT Classic runners often forgetting they have Spring Ball and just doing bomb jumps instead. Happens all the time, and happens to every one of us. It's also unique to see Tilimorf actually doing the intended strategy for the early supers room using using speed booster to beat the gates.
Yeah, oftentimes even when runners do have speed booster, they'll still do the mock ball, just not thinking about it.
Yeah, which is you don't want to do that. Unfortunately, misses the reverse mock ball. The timing of this is a little bit different from the usual reverse mock ball you do. I don't think any one of them is particularly more difficult than the other, but since you have more jumping speed, more upward momentum from high jump moves, yeah, that mock ball is something you have to relearn.
Mm-hmm.
Coming down to the critters items. Again, the bottom of this room has a ton of spike. Oh, nice! He caught himself there. The bottom of this room is almost like a hellway, but since he has space jump and screw attack, actually makes traversing him very easy. And Rusty pushing these robots down to their pits. You might have seen runners in Hondo do the robot flusher strategy, where they fire a charge shot to push these robots down into their respective pits. I have tried that for this category. Unfortunately, since you have Plasma Beam, the visual cues actually will become different. And so far, I don't think we have a good way of doing the robot flusher with the item sets today. Now Tilimorf heading to Big Brain. He needs to be a little careful here. Let's see if he goes first. Yeah, actually I don't presume he will, but okay, taking a hit from the reels for safety. Again, if you don't have Ice Beam equipped, you can just spam your shots, and that these enemies will die immediately. You don't have to do any difficult timings. So these are some strat deviations that are potential this late game.
Alright, and Iron Rusty does remember to get that missile pack on the way out, so that's really good.
He even gets it if he's during a speedy jump, which is actually very difficult. I find that missile to be much easier grabbed on the way through, since you have much less speed than on the way back. That was very well played. Tilimorf doesn't get the mission impossible, so he needs to make some adjustments here. Okay, just go the standard way. And having screw attack makes killing these hoppers entirely trivial. Does not make opening this wave gate trivial though. The wave gate, you want to be somewhat ascending, or at least not descending too much. The Samus opens it because it takes some time for the gate to open anyways. So otherwise it's really easy to fall down. Oh, and we entirely forgot to mention this wraparound shot. So you saw Rusty shoot a beam to the bottom right corner of the screen. Actually, the shot hits the out of bounds copy of the left-hand door, and allows that shine spark to be possible. It's called the Gauntlet spark.
Yeah, and at the same time, Tilly doing something pretty neat known as Spo skip. Fighting Spore Spawn is really slow. So instead, what somebody figured out is there are a couple different positions in that room where you can fire a super such that it will go fast enough that it can hit that block off screen without despawning, but also you still say, like, it's still close enough to the screen that it won't despawn either. Like, it's... There are a couple different places that people can set up, but each spot is kind of tight.
Yeah, it's a very helpful trick because even though Samus is fully powered up, Spo still just decides that you have to wait for like 70 seconds in the beginning, even though like... oh, I guess Spo is aware that if he opens his mouth, he'll just die, so he waits out the 70 seconds. So unfortunately, yeah, even though the runners are fully powered up, Spo decides that the fight is going to be slow anyways.
Yeah.
So Spo skip is always used in these completion categories. Maybe not just not except for Maple. Maple is like the only category. Oh, yeah. Also Nintendo Power. Nintendo Power. But that category is...
Yeah, back before that skip was discovered, the old strat was actually to do a crystal flash clip there.
Oh, what? Oh my god, that's so neat.
Yeah, because the crystal flash clip will like force you like crystal flash in the tunnel, which forces you into a crouched position so you can fire a super.
Oh, that's ingenious. I see. So you can fire a super like point blank.
Yeah.
Next to the eluding super block that just goes away if it's all off screen. Okay, that's actually ingenious. I never knew about it.
Yeah, it's a neat strat, and it's almost a little bit sad that a better Spore Spawn skip was discovered. But this one is really
Yeah.
fun and a lot better in terms of speed.
Yeah, this is right. It is faster. It may not be as flashy of a trick though. And Tilimorf now the route has fully converged. Okay, actually not fully converged because Tilimorf still has Gauntlet, but this is where most routes in Max GT converges with that of Hundo. This retro brain cleanups is located so close to G4. You basically will be visiting in this area in any of the completion categories last. And this is a very difficult, even though this is last, and even though this is like one of the first areas of the game where you come to like this beta missile room, as well as Billy Mace. This is actually really hard to optimize because again the geography is just so constrained. It's very restrictive of Samus's movement.
Yeah, definitely. It's also just an area that's been super optimized because of Hundo and because the items that you have here matches that of Hundo.
Right. It's also unfortunate that the more knowledge you have, the worse you feel about yourself because you know there are just the more knowledge you have gave birth to all these tough strategies and just making the runs difficult. So, it's like before before the taco tank was found, like RBO was not that difficult, but now that taco tank is found, RBO just became incredibly difficult to optimize.
I mean, there's literally one player at the top level who goes for taco tank for right now.
Yeah, right, exactly. But just saying that.
One day.
If you want to, yeah, one day, like all taco tank will be filling up the boards.
Oh, I hope so.
I don't hope so, but.
Oh no!
Oh, Rusty.
Rusty got Mission Impossible and just couldn't make it quite out.
Yeah, you really don't want to be complacent there because even after making out the tunnel, you have to like do this ledge grab or down grab. Unfortunately, misses it. Interesting setup by Rusty. I've never seen that kind of setup. And Tilimorf not using power bombs for this 230 missiles. That's another interesting choice. He needs to be careful though to not forget that he needs to revisit the Gauntlet items, even though he has a pretty significant lead. Forgetting these two items deep into Turian, because at some point like you actually can't exit from Turian like anymore. So that will actually invalidate his run. But he thankfully does remember.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, you know, it's faster to save Gauntlet for now, but it's also scary.
Oh yeah, true. Just because you might be absent-minded or let your muscle memory take command. But with all these items he has, this pickup, even without Gauntlet Spark, it really isn't that bad. And this second portion, even without Six Master, it's really not that bad either. In this category, Six Master actually only saves 2 seconds, because you have Space Jump and Screw Attack to go through the second portion fast enough. So Tilimorf fully finished with his item completion and now going into G4, looking like a 128 perhaps, 127, 128, which is a strong time for a race.
Yeah, I believe that would be a PB for him if he can pull that off. At least according to what.
PB was a
129.
I see.
As of the start of this tournament, I don't know if he has PB'd since then.
Oh, Rusty went for a cool space jump there. You can maintain your speed and do a speedy space jump, which actually propels Samus more higher upward than usual. Unfortunately, bounces the ceiling. And this is he needs not forget, yeah, this Green Hill missile is gonna do the space jump into a Mach Ball. There you go. Very cool.
Nice. Oh wow, it looks like since the tournament started, Tilly has actually reduced his GT time, his max GT, to a 126.
126, wow.
So this will not be a
huge.
PB for him.
Yeah, yeah, even Zost or Zanny couldn't make this a PB for him at this point. Fortunately. 126, that's very strong.
Yeah.
I wonder where he lost the time. Oh yeah, maybe like ocean, maybe falling in the ocean and
Yeah.
and
The
stuff like
gauntlet
that.
didn't help.
Oh, got it. Oh yeah, of course, of course. How could I forget? How could I forget?
Yeah. Now, having this full item set is sort of both a blessing and a curse for these Metroid rooms. It makes the execution a lot harder. Tilly's going for some nice strats here that are just a little bit slower than the optimal ones, but a lot easier. Optimal Metroid rooms with Hundo layout is really hard.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And they are really hard, and they actually don't even save like that much time. Like room 3, the optimal strategy uses a spring ball to traverse like the last quarter of the room more quickly, only to be stopped by the door. So yeah, Tilimorf making some really good conscious choices of strategies.
Mm-hmm. All right,
And this baby
baby
skip.
skip.
Please get it.
Ooh.
Mm.
He's had to
Actually looks.
do quite a few extra
Oh,
jump ropes.
yeah,
Oh,
that jump, the last jump looked very awkward. You usually want to do the Metroid a little bit to the right by doing like this oval shape kind of trajectory, but yeah, the last jump was a little bit too sharp, I felt.
yeah. Missing baby skip in GT Max is it's the worst baby skip you can possibly miss in any
It is,
category.
it
Because you
is,
have
unfortunately.
21 E-tanks.
Yeah, 21 E-tanks to drain. It's actually closer to. Oh, okay. He's going for Crystal Flash. Then I hope he takes this safe, and he has a pretty Okay, if you're gonna do that, hopefully Tilimorf takes the save here.
He has
Does not.
700. He has like 700 energy in his reserves.
Oh, does he? Okay.
I think his reserves are full. I guess we'll see right now.
Oh right, he never drained. Okay, sorry, I was going off of my standards where I usually. Yeah, he has plenty.
Where
Oh,
where did,
but this isn't enough for. It won't be enough for a stand up unless he does Crystal Flash. So we will
yeah.
see what he chooses to do. This is interesting. He can make this a lot riskier by bringing his health down and doing the Crystal Flash, or just taking a save and doing a 490 Mother Brain fight.
Has he re-equipped Varia?
I am not certain.
Okay, so he is going for Crystal Flash.
Yeah. Okay. Will this be enough time? Yeah, it should be, right? Or it's not enough time.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. He can still recover. The
yeah.
other rings only does 60. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's
That
scary.
was very scary. More scary than probably it seemed to be, because if you dash into Mother Brain, it's actually very easy to double hit Mother Brain, because from Mother Brain you actually don't have like any invulnerability frames. Mother Brain is herself did 60, but a double hit would have killed Tilimorf.
Yeah, it's really easy to get a double or even a triple hit on Mother Brain.
For sure, for sure.
Thankfully he does make it through.
Yeah, yeah, that was a little bit scarier than it needed to be, honestly. But
Yeah.
just him more putting up a show for us.
Yeah. Yeah, stand up in Max GT is pretty nice. It's actually it's actually easier than a normal stand up. Oh, oh, okay. I haven't seen people use that strap for stand up before.
Yeah, it's yeah. Even when even the ways of getting to stand up, there are variances across runners.
Yeah.
And Rusty entering G4 126. So looking at 133, 134 for Rusty. Did you say Rusty's PB was 132 or 133?
Yeah, like a 133.
I
So
see. So
as of the start of the tournament.
hmm. Yeah, he. I mean, it is possible to it is possible to get a 133 or even a PB from here, but it will be a very difficult terrain in that case.
Hmm.
Since optimal terrain, I think is only like 640, or it's definitely sub 7.
Yeah. But yeah, so Tilly actually has a little bit more time with this stand-up than normal. As you can see, things are a bit wonky right now. You know, one of the common misconceptions with stand-up is people will be like, "Oh, you have more E-tanks, so that means stand-up will be longer." And no, unless you have more E-tanks than the game expects you to have.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Usually more intakes just means easier stand up since you have more time to kill. Since the baby just well since actually the cutscene takes the same amount of time regardless of how many intakes you have, except when you have more than 14, the baby needs to fill the extra 7 E-tanks. The 7 E-tanks only actually contains 600 health, or 601 I think, because the 7th E-tank only contains 1 health. But that's like what, like 10 seconds, 10 extra seconds you're waiting. Oh, going for blue bomber.
It's a hard trick.
Yeah, it only saves 1 second optimally. And but oh, what? How the shine spark brought him into the second room? Almost looked like what is it, like a escape kind of maneuver. That was cool.
Yeah, I've seen that happen a couple times.
And Rusty unfortunately does not get his baby skip, and he does not have Varia unequipped, so that was a very lengthy animation. Looking like a 128 for Tilimorf.
It's gonna be close. But he does finish with an official racetime.gg time of 128.57. GG.
GG, GG Tilimorf. Close one. And Rusty taking a save. Taking a save, which is nice and safe. Getting the refill. He won't have us on the edge of our city in this case. Will be a pretty comfy mother brain fight with with as much tank as he has.
Yeah, it's interesting that he decided to pause and unequip stuff there. Maybe he just wasn't. Maybe he just forgot to unequip Varia during the baby.
Oh yeah. Or even before entering Turian on the elevator. But again, no matter what he does now, Rusty will be finishing the game as well, unless he somehow does the rainbow beam slow down or soft lock. This will be a complete run for both runners. Always nice to see.
Yeah, you can escape the rainbow beam slow lock, but there are a couple soft locks you can't escape.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there.
Oh, yeah, right. I've seen like the baby just never, or like the onion rings never hitting the baby or something. Okay, maybe that's from a different category. I admittedly don't know.
Yeah, it's like you can get the baby stuck in the wrong position, and there are ways to get the baby unstuck unless it's quite stuck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are like a few layers of different layers of stuckness.
Yeah. Yeah, and to answer a question in chat, yes, this is a best of 3, and game 2 will be happening right after this.
And I believe Grub, you'll be commentating that as well.
Yes, I will.
Looking forward
So
to hearing it.
yeah, that's gonna be exciting. I believe any percent all bosses was banned,
Yes.
and this one was, of course, GT Max.
That was a very long Rainbow Beam. Yeah, so still DPRK Nintendo Power percent is 69% on the table, and it will be Tilimorf's turn to pick a category this time around.
Yep, so Iron Rusty will get to ban one of those. Tilimorf picks one from the remaining 2, and if a game 3 is required, then the last remaining category gets raced. So
Yes.
I'll be curious to see what Rusty bans and what Tilly picks. I mean,
Oh,
all
definitely.
all the remaining categories have their merits. Like every category in this tournament has some cool stuff.
I kind of have a feeling that Rusty would want a DPRK to happen, because I know he's been throwing DPRK at like all the he took a win against me in DPRK, and he also threw DPRK at Apathy, who
Yeah.
was a higher rank, who was a higher seed. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm praying for DPRK.
oh yeah, you'll have all the floor to to commentate it, and we see the fabled 135% on Tilimorph's screen, so his run is valid. GG to him.
Yeah.
And Rusty will be finished up shortly as well.
Yeah, it looks like Rusty did forfeit from the race. I'm not entirely sure why.
Yeah, I actually don't even know what forfeit does, but it looks like he's still going to finish the run on stream for us. So that's very nice of him. I remember a few days ago seeing Rusty practice Nintendo Power percent or something like that. So that might also happen. In which case you won't. In which case you won't be so content, but
yeah. It is my least favorite category, but it has neat strats to it. I'll concede that.
Yeah, all of these categories are something special.
Yeah.
I'm not going for Brew Bomber. That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't have. Okay, he didn't have screw tag equipped.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually couldn't afford to go for Blue Bomber, because that doesn't give him iframes when he enters this room. Last move all in the game. Very good. Oh, he doesn't kill the top pirate. Interesting. That pirate always messes me up if I leave him alive. Okay, but Rusty bypasses him, no problem.
I think with the way Rusty did the room, like if he had tried to kill that top pirate during the moonfall, it wouldn't have worked or something.
Oh, okay.
Like the pirate would have shot him, because I think if you allow the pirate to be on screen for a little bit, then
that's right.
It goes a little bit further in its cycle.
I see. So he had to scroll the pirate off screen there by hugging the death wall. Oh, that's all these subtleties I never knew about. What? Oh, he just shine sparks the animals. I thought he was gonna.
Oh, is he gonna let the timer run out?
No, please! Oh my God, Rusty! Why would you have to do this? You're gonna run Sam's health out as well. Just seeing the animals suffer in the acid. Like you see them like running around in pain. Like why?
Those
This is
Edacoons.
this is
Does it?
not
Oh
tolerable
no.
for me. Yeah, just
Does Edacoons taught you how to wall jump, Rusty?
yeah, and the chorus tell you how to teach you how to, or the core teaches you how to shine spark,
Yeah.
and this is what you give in return to them. Wow, this is unacceptable for me because I actually save the animals in every single run I do. Ah, what a pain. Do you see this? Is he actually gonna let the timer run out? That'll be a gigantic meme though.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be a PB for him.
Right.
Oh well.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I wonder whether the timer is gonna run out first or Sam is gonna run out. Oh no, he has the
Yeah,
his
7
full
reserve.
reserves. Uh, reserves. Yeah, I think the baby actually,
Oh.
the baby refill cutscene actually does not, uh, it does not fill you up on reserves. If you, or so I think. Wait, actually, actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, he has a time.
Yeah, I
His
like
time in reserves.
I like the 135 missile count though.
Maybe that was a meme. Yeah, that's yeah. That now okay. Now it's flashing. Now that he makes it flashing on screen, it's very evident.
All right, and
Well,
with
in
that,
any
time
case,
has run out.
yeah. Any
Oh,
case,
oh, it just gives you a game over. I honestly forgot what happened when you lose on Zabe's escape. Because I don't know if you've ever seen what it looks like to die on Saray's escape, but it's the same cutscene as if you succeed. Samus's ship just doesn't fly out.
oh, okay, right. It'll be cool if we see the Xavius escape cutscene, but not Samus flying out. Right. That's a possibility. Just gives you a game over here though. Well, in any case, GG's to Tilimorf for taking this first race, and of course GG to Rusty for showing us some good memes in the end.
Hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
GG's. I think with this, I think both runners just want to go into the second race and forgo an interview.
I see, I see.
Yeah.
Well, that was fun commentating with you, Graf.
Yeah, good commentating with you too. I
Yeah,
don't believe you're joining for this one.
unfortunately, yeah, I have a race starting in an hour, so I
Oh,
can't really commit myself anymore. But the floor is yours, so uh, take it easy and have fun with your next commentary.
yeah, and good luck with your race.
Oh, I appreciate it. See you around.
See you around. All right. Well, with that, the stream's going to be going down for just a second, just a few minutes, but don't go anywhere. Um, we're going to be seeing game two in just a moment here. Um, so the stream's going to go down. We're gonna get everything set up for game two, and then we'll be right back.